A working man adapted the thriller novel Levon's Trade, and almost every change it made was for the worse. The movie reunites Jason Statham with director David Ayer, fresh off their $162 million success with The Beekeeper. A working man casts Statham as Levon Cade, a retired Royal Marines commando tasked with rescuing his boss' kidnapped daughter Jenny, Ariana Rivas, from human traffickers. The film is broadly faithful to Chuck Dixon's Levon's Trade, with many of the same characters and story beats appearing. Still, it also makes some sweeping changes to the source material that make it feel very different. A working man's ending leaves the door open a crack for a potential sequel. There are currently 11 sequel novels to Levon's Trade, but time will tell if a follow-up actually happens. The adaptation has earned mixed reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, but its box office suggests it could be the start of another Jason Statham franchise. If there was a key difference between A Working Man and Levon's Trade, it would be tonal. Dixon's book reads like a gritty 1970s pulp thriller and is considerably meaner than the Statham film. This includes the ending, where Levon confronts Demi, the Russian gangster who kidnapped Jenny. In the movie, Jenny is confirmed to be alive from an early point, and her kidnappers plan to sell her to a rich client. In the novel, Levon learns that Jenna, her name in the book, died the night Demi took, having choked on her own vomit after he drugged her. This casts a tragic pall over the whole story, and the only comfort Levon can take from completing his mission is that her father will know what happened. A working man takes the opposite approach, where Jenny is alive throughout and fights back against her captors. She even kills her main tormentor Artemis, Eve Morrow, during the finale. The movie establishes that Cade, Jenny, and her family are all close friends. In Levon's Trade, Cade and Jenna have never met. In the Levon Cade books, Gunny Lefferts is a blind African-American man who is older than Levon. In the screen adaptation, Gunny Lefferty is about the same age as Levon and played by David Harbour. Gunny might be blind in both the novel and film, but his other senses are heightened to near superhuman degrees. He serves the same story function in Levon's Trade, where Statham's protagonist leaves his daughter Mary, Islagi, with Gunny at his isolated farm when the Russians learn his true identity. Most of Levon's Trade's chapters begin with quotes from Gunny that are filled with tough love or sage advice. Gunny's sayings include body counts don't means asterisk 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 if they're not the right bodies, or you don't get to say it's over until there's no one left but you to say it. These quotes returned in some of Dixon's sequel books and really helped flesh out Gunny's personality. While Harbour's Gunny is also full of wisdom, his sayings from the book aren't peppered into his dialogue. Levon's Trade tells a fairly simple story, though it maintains the mystery of what happened to Jenna throughout. For whatever reason, Ayer's film decided to add a bunch of new subplots and characters, including Emmett G. Scanlon's Viper and Artemis. This obviously comes with the benefit of giving Levon more evil villains to punch, shoot, or explode, but it also makes the narrative weirdly convoluted. It can be tricky to keep track of who is working for whom or which evil gangster is the uncle of another. In Levon's Trade, the unfussy storytelling always kept this clear. It's surprising that Ayer and Sylvester Stallone's screenplay actually makes the plot more complex instead of simplifying things. These additions contribute to A Working Man's bloated runtime, where it's 2 hours long when a tight 90 minutes would have worked better. A Working Man retains the subplot where Levon's evil, rich father-in-law Darb Roth, Richard Heap, is trying to take custody of Mary. Roth believes Cade caused the death of his daughter and that his military past poses a threat to Mary's safety. He has a point, considering Roth gets attacked and left to die in a fire by Russian hitmen later in the movie. Levon ends up saving Roth's life, and much to his own chagrin, Roth thanks him for it. The full Roth subplot from Levon's Trade was probably much too bizarre to include in the film. In the novel, Roth and his wife are kidnapped by hitmen looking for Levon, and Roth's wife is quickly executed. To save his own life, Roth makes a deal with the devil, helping supply the Russians with cheap medications before the epilogue reveals he became a private doctor to the gang and is living a totally new life. It's a strange subplot for her for sure, but also one of the book's most entertaining. The Beekeeper is a wildly entertaining mix of action and comedy and proves Statham is still one of the best action stars working. It makes sense for A Working Man to copy its predecessor's template, but Levon's Trade is fundamentally very different from